Hello and welcome to Airmech. This is a 2v2 game. We have on the blues rigelglen and SaucyJack against TheOlle and Yihaa. And if we see from rigelglen, they started pumping out the money makers. If we switch to SaucyJack, he's also got money makers, extra money makers for the extra outpost they have on the side there. Now if we pop over to Team Red, we've seen that they actually have no money makers down at the moment. I don't know if Yihaa is actually doing that. They're putting some turrets down, so for a good defensive position. And now, yep, he has started putting down some money makers, so they can actually generate some money, so they can build some more units. TheOlle has decided to make some soldiers, so he can make a push, maybe for the middle. And the game has actually started now. They have free roam of the map. rigelglen has actually put down a tank with the hope to take out the neutral targets in the middle section, but they haven't, by the looks of it, pushed for their third outpost, well, their second outpost, their third base area. But it looks like rigelglen might be pushing for that now. They will get it eventually, of course, because their neutral mobs will actually move in. They have actually caught it now. We move to TheOlle. Yep, both teams are trying to pump out attacks on the main middle section, which will, in the start to mid game, that will be the main place of combat. We actually have rigelglen on level 2 at the moment, which means he will be a lot stronger, and the blues have actually managed to capture it, and they have managed to put down two what appear to be two heavy tanks. I can't remember what their names are. They are actually longhorns, two longhorns, which are, in my opinion, the best units to actually have in the low to mid game, or you can actually get to level 7 and have enough money to build Goliaths, which are the strongest units, in my opinion. If you want to win the game, you will build some Goliaths. The Reds have actually managed to push back and take the middle section. The Blues have got quite a good hold on it with those longhorns covering the middle. The Reds are going to find it very difficult to push past that. They might want to think about building a load of soldiers and pushing to go and take one of the Blues outposts, which are less heavily defended. We go and have a look at their outposts over here. Yep, this outpost has no defense. They could easily take that and probably hold it, which would cause the Blues to want to think about a more defensive action to go and take that on. TheOlle just took out rigelglen there. As you may know, if you have your mech in the flying mode and you actually have it hovering over one of your bases, you do actually regenerate health. There was a small push from the Reds there with their own tanks, but wasn't enough, because we actually have some Seekers here in a defensive position to take out any enemy aircraft, as well as the Longhorns to combat any attacks from the Reds. So these little soldiers, those aren't soldiers actually, those are... oh no, those are soldiers. They're trying to push, but they won't get anywhere because these Longhorns will take them out immediately. And they also have some good turret positionings. They have a turret on one of the nodes of the outpost, which makes them stronger than if they are just initially on the ground there. We actually have a level 4 from rigelglen here, and Yihaa is actually only on level 1 still. That's a good signal to show that he's actually not pulling his weight, and could actually be the reasoning behind... oh, apparently he was AFK. That might explain why the Reds haven't been doing very well. Then you've got to commend TheOlle for being able to actually hold the defense himself and actually manage to keep the Reds in the game at the moment. Now we see rigelglen with his bronze, silver and gold medals floating around. They are cosmetic goods for the in honor of the Olympic Games. And rigelglen does take it, and TheOlle does not realise in time. He just gets taken out because he thinks, that's my base. And that's my base, isn't it? No. rigelglen's taken it. But now we do have some red side creeps going in. Oh, and he blocks them off with a longhorn. That is a great move, a great defensive strategy if you want to stop creeps from getting into your base. Place a tank in their way. Acts as a nice barrier. But we do have some soldier drop-offs here, and they have managed to take it back. If we have a look over here, one of the blue creeps has managed to take it, and they are attacking the main base. We have a Longhorn there. Yihaa's only level 2, so it might take him a little time to take out that Longhorn, and there we go. With the help of his increased powered turret on one of the nodes there. The Blues still have, yep, the Blues are taking that back, and the Ollie is still lingering on that position, which is very dangerous. However, rigelglen is using a chopper. I think that might be the Apache, which makes combat in the early stages of the game very difficult for anyone opting to take the chopper, because they cannot maneuver as well as the other mechs can. Now we see rigelglen taken out by the Ollie, who is now going to do some soldier drop-offs. That tank isn't quite covering that door over there, so they may even get the capture on this point, but it is very well defended. Now the Blues are sending some Longhorns forward, and the defences of the red team are pretty weak. They've only really got this one turret, so they would have to pull their mechs back to actually defend their main base, and it's looking pretty bleak for the Reds at the moment. I'm wondering if the Blues have actually built up an army to send in at once. Yes, they have, and they are actually deploying them right now. You see SaucyJack actually deploying his units, sending them in. Is he going to send any more? He is pumping out more units, so I would imagine that he probably is going to be sending them. Yep, he's sending a constant flow. And these three are going to make it in, but how much damage are they going to cause? They do have some backup, but they are smoking there, as you can see, so they have taken some serious damage. That one goes down. And rigelglen is actually coming in here to take out that turret, which will give those Longhorns free reign on the game, and I don't think we're going to see any Goliaths in this game. I don't think we're going to see any level 7 units, because I think these Longhorns are going to take out the red base. And Yihaa, in a desperate attempt, is going into combat and has placed down a turret and a Longhorn of his own, but I do not think it's going to be enough, especially seeing as though we have one of these patches which actually regenerate the health of the units. And there we go, that is a victory for rigelglen and SaucyJack. GG. TheOlle Yihaa just could not pull it off. Maybe because one of their players being AFK, but however, that is a victory for the Blues.